Today, from Seattle, Washington, it's Week 13 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Los Angeles Rams.
From the home of the 12s, they raised the banner just a moment ago. We are set for football at Lumen Field here a mile south of downtown Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Los Angeles Rams. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They will be led out by a second-round pick in 2019. Out of Missouri, it's Drew Lock.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl-type season. And maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year. And with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. The CD, this offense at 11-0 now on the year. A few weeks ago, I remember asking you what kind of percentage chance that you thought they had at staying unbeaten the entire season. I think you said 25%. I'd imagine that number probably grown since then.
I would agree with you, and I'm going to actually bump it up to closer to 50%, only because they still have some tough games to come. And keeping that focus throughout the entire season, that's been a really difficult thing to...
And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big connection on that one. 31 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Second and 16. Another try after the first down sack. And he's going to go down again. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack. And it's 3rd down. They'll make that a second sack here on their first drive out defensively. And not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws.
And this is taken in at the 5. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for Seattle.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. They look to throw. It's Lock. They'll roll him out right. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT. Second down and goal. Lock. And it's caught. Touchdown. DK Metcalf. His 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. And trotting out there, their tall quarterbacks, standing at 6'5".
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
They'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. So now make that a second sack for them on this drive.
And, Brandon, we hear it every week when we go out to do a game. Everyone talks about playing complementary football. Their offense goes down and scores. They see that, and they want to back them up, and that they did, getting 2 sacks on this first drive.
On second down, Evans looking for space. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarter.
And it's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
And to give this time to the tailback. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. On play action, Lock. Out to his left. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
And this one is right down the middle. And the lead moves to 10-zip. got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Evans. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They'll look to throw. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 45-yard line. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now a dump off here complete. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Here's a handoff to Evans. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the 1st down. 1:55 left to go in the first half of play. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Jordan Brooks, what a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. So now the Rams send out the field goal team here. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 42. Block off of play action. Throw left side complete. That's Hodges. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Locke. Now he'll escape to his left. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Will Dissly, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Now the try here for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tiny 2-play drive that time. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case, wide receiver, you got to be careful.
Certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time, completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Following the fumble recovery, it's Locke. Buying time to his left. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. To throw it is Locke, sliding out of the pocket. Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. 3rd and 2, Locke's going to throw. This one into the hands of Metcalf. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We're starting to get near the home stretch of this NFL season. It's Week 13, so let's get an update on what's going on. We'll start out west at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. And it's the Cardinals who have the lead as they play the second quarter. Kyler Murray, 2 touchdown passes thus far. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were losers in that one to the visiting New York Giants. The Giants continue to move up that playoff ladder as they run their record to 9-3 through 12 games. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Carolina Panthers. A couple of touchdown strikes there from Justin Fields. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Rams set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail here as we resume play. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. The Rams offense ready to begin quarter number 3. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Third quarter starts with a run by Chris Evans. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. These two teams, they met up in Seattle earlier in the year with the Seahawks coming away victorious. So a win here in Seattle, tough as that may be, would give them the season sweep. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll go again here with Evans. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll try and run for this with Evans. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Porter. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Again, a run with Evans. And he'll get this one down to about the 27.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
He'll look to throw. He finds his man complete. It's Harrison. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Seahawks have recovered.
Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple, and that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
These two teams met up earlier in the year, back in Week 4, and it was the visiting Seahawks who were victorious in that one. So they now look for the sweep here back home in Seattle. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. They fake the handoff. Now Locke. Catch is made by Metcalf. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And he put up a good fight, but he's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 13. And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And the Rams defense gets to him again behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 15 coming up after that loss of 2. Now Locke. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And great yardage here all the way deep into Los Angeles territory. It's a big play there for Seattle.
Even with the big lead here in the fourth, it still bombs away. And frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Now, after that last running play, we've got an offensive lineman down on the field. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack. And it's 3rd down.
But enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Seahawks add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
And that was a beautiful ball right there as he waited for his tight end to come uncovered in the end zone, so give him points for patience as well. Delivered it right where it needed to be for 6 points.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And that stretches the lead to 27. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. L.A. readies for its next possession. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he's brought down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Now here's a throw that's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Now they got to get to the line quickly. His throw incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, L.A. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Rams are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now down to 20. So that drive in total 8 plays. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
DK Metcalf for the Seattle offense about set to take over once again. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. They'll actually throw it with Locke. Flushed out right. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
But to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know. I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Well, the incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now a play fake, and here's Locke. This is caught by Tate. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
On the move to his left. And incomplete on the deep ball. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Locke. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. So the victory here for Seattle. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for the Seahawks, the streak continues as they push their mark to a perfect 12-0 now on the year.
And they'll get to stay home again next week as Washington comes to town.
Meanwhile, for L.A., it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead they fall to 5-7. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside